Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet. It is Saturday. It is November the 1st, also known as the month that it just kind of rains here. Anyways, so we'll go ahead. We'll start at the top of the board. The New Jersey Devils have signed Jacob Markstrom to a 2-year extension. The cap hit for Markstrom being $6 million. Pretty sure that's the cap hit he's got currently. I think with where the cap is headed, that salary cap hit is fine. It means that Markstrom and Allen will be the goaltenders for New Jersey for the next 2 years beyond this one. I think it's fine. I mean, Tom Fitzgerald wanted certainty in net. He wanted that stability. He has that now. So that definitely clears things up a little bit for New Jersey in the near term. Yeah, let me know your thoughts regarding this contract. But I think it's fine considering where the salary cap is going and how unpredictable goaltenders are. Sure. Justin Brazeau, who's off to an amazing start to this season, he is out today for the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Winnipeg Jets. That's a pretty hefty blow for Pittsburgh, considering they're already without Raquel. We'll see how they do without Brazeau. Of course, no one would have expected Brazeau to be above a point per game at this stage of the season anyways, but they're going to have to replace that production somehow. So we'll see how things go for them today without Brazeau against the Jets, one of the best teams in the league as well. The Dallas Stars continue with these day-to-day injuries that feel like more than day-to-day. Rope Hintz and Matt Duchene remain out today against the Panthers. So if they were anywhere close, you would think they might get a chance. But either way, Hintz and Duchene remain out. Oscar Beck is returning to the lineup for Dallas. So that's positive news for them. Dallas dealing with a lot of injuries, and it is major to have both Duchene and Hintz out. Of course, Florida's dealing with a lot of injuries as well, so a little bit unpredictable what's going to happen in that game. We shall see. A couple of notes related to overseas hockey. First off, Ilya Samsonov, who went unsigned throughout the summer, coming off of another rough season in net in the National Hockey League, has signed in the KHL. I think we saw this coming when he still wasn't signed in about August. I think we knew that was probably where he was headed, considering most teams had their goaltending set up and figured out by then. All the best to Samsonov. We'll see if he ends up coming back over to the NHL when his KHL contract is done, because he's certainly young enough to do so. Evgeny Kuznetsov. There was a lot of talk about whether or not teams might sign him before the season started. He didn't end up returning to the NHL. I was mildly surprised the Canucks didn't give him some sort of tryout, considering their issues at center. But Kuznetsov has continued to have his struggles. He left the Metallurg bench. He'd only played 5 minutes during the game. He left the bench. He got changed, and he watched the remainder of the game in his street clothes. So Evgeny Kuznetsov is having a tough time of it. Hopefully he can pull himself through it, but it happens to every player. You get older, your role on the team diminishes a little bit. Some guys retire before you get to that point, and sometimes they just don't. So all the best to Kuznetsov, but yeah, that is one of those things that can happen where as you get older, you get played less, and I guess he just got tired of it. But either way, We'll see if anything further comes out of that if he ends up out of his KHL contract. It does feel like it's easier for the KHL to terminate contracts than it is for the NHL to do so. So we'll see what happens there. William Nylander is close for Toronto. He's close enough that I saw reports that he was probably going to play. He has been ruled out for today as the latest that I've seen. So he won't be playing against the Flyers. Lawton is close to a return. You would think that if Lawton's going to come back and play, he would love to play against the Flyers, the team he was once employed by. It sounds like Tanev could return for this game as well. So this is where the NHL does this little trick. And it drives me kind of crazy. Like, I could do a news video probably 5 minutes before games go just to say, hey, so all these guys are back, but there's not much point since the game's right about to be on anyways. Very common for NHL teams to hold that lineup close to their chest until right before game time. And I get it. You don't want to give the opposition a chance to necessarily be ready for a big shift in your lineup, whether it's a guy playing or a guy not playing. Sometimes they don't tell you a player's not playing until the very last minute either. So we'll see, but it sounds like Nylander's out. Tanev's probably in. For the Toronto Maple Leafs today. Rookie of the Month has been named. I haven't seen the 3 stars of the month yet. I did hunt around. At the time I'm recording this, they have not been named. probably in 4 minutes. Matthew Schaefer has been named Rookie of the Month. Not a huge surprise there. Schaefer got off to a ridiculous start. He's cooled off a bit since that ridiculous start, but he's still playing very, very well for the Islanders. Definitely looks like it was the right decision. It's very early, but definitely looks like it was the right decision to draft him first overall this past June. Schaefer turning a lot of heads with his play, and rightfully so. Capo Caco, who has not played yet this season for Seattle, it looks like he is going to be making his season debut today, which is good because it's against the Rangers. So this is also Ryan Lindgren's chance to play against his former team, the Rangers, so should make for a fun game. Of course, I want to just mention in here too, I've got a board up where I've got the first 4 games on it. My plan is to do a review of the first 4 games and then review the other 9 games after. Later on, using the non-notes version. The notes version would be the first 4 games, the non-notes version the last 9. Although there's been a little bit of notes getting on some of those boards as well. Just a little bit. I can't help myself, especially if there's only a couple of games on. I kind of start writing stuff. Anyways, so yeah, Kakko likely to come back today for Seattle. We'll see what that does for their attack. The Philadelphia Flyers off to a really strong start, and I do think that this could be legitimate as well. They're getting the points from Zegras that they would have wanted. They've got relatively healthy lineup, and their .650 points percentage, the highest the Philadelphia Flyers have recorded over a calendar month since 2007-2008. So really strong month of October. We'll see how they follow it up in the month of November. There will be a lot of people expecting them to drop off again. I don't know what to expect with this team. I know that Rick Tocchet, when he takes over a team, can have this sort of effect. I wouldn't be entirely surprised to see them end up making the playoffs, but with how tight everything is in the East, I think it really is anybody's guess at this point as to who's going to make it and who's not. And yes, I do think that's good for the game of hockey. I will try to find time to discuss that later in the day, and why I think, and make a video on why I think the parity we're seeing in the NHL is actually fantastic. World Series Game 7 is tonight. I understand that there's a lot of people right now that aren't all that interested in hockey because this has been, I would say, the best World Series we've had in a long time. And there may be some bias in there as well, because I do really, like seeing the Jays back in the World Series for the first time in so long. So I may have a bit of a bias there. And if it was them against the Padres, I'd probably be standing here and saying, this is the greatest ever. But the reality is that Game 7 is tonight. It's the end of it. And no matter who wins, I think it's been a fantastic series. And I think the Jays have really, really proved themselves, as have the Dodgers. I know the Dodgers are loathed by many, but I mean, they're widely recognized as the best team in baseball for a reason. So, at any rate, that game will be tonight. I understand a lot of people watching this video and watching my reviews may very well not be watching hockey because of the Baseball World Series. So, glad to fill you guys in on what you missed and all that fun stuff. But it should be a good game tonight, and I'll try to see what I can during the games, much like last night. Which, of course, was disappointing for Toronto fans, but it was still a pretty good game. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate, too, the people who liked my little get-up for the Halloween review last night. So, I try to have fun with it on Halloween, and I try to make sure I'm wearing something I haven't worn in a video before, so there you go. But thank you guys so much for that. That being said, I'm done for now. I'll get back to watching Carolina and Boston. And, of course, Pittsburgh, Winnipeg is starting up pretty soon as well. And I'll just mention that Calgary, Nashville, and the Avs and San Jose, those are the other games that I'll be reviewing with the early review, and then the other 9 will be later. So thanks for your support. I will talk to you again soon.